when you head into 2025, what's your kind of mindset?
Yeah, I think kind of the mindset's just to go and win. We had a great second half last year of playing great baseball, and I think the first half we struggled a little bit, and just being able to go in that second half and kind of do really well over 500 as a team, and then kind of taking that momentum and starting this year and being able to go win as many games as we can, go surprise some teams, and really just try to push for a playoff team. I think that's the goal at the end of the year for everybody, is just to go to the playoffs. So for us, it's just going to be able to go out to a hot start this year. Hot start at the beginning here, then to continue that in the second half, and just being able to push for a playoff team. I think we have the talent here to be a playoff team. I think that's kind of what we're thinking as a squad, being able to go into the year, start off well, and continue push that for that playoff spot.
Getting called up last year, what was the biggest thing that you learned in your first year?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of the speed of the game. Everything speeds up on you. It's faster. Everything. Hitters are better. Pitchers are better. It's just kind of the game itself. It's crazy how different it is from the minor league side. That's why it's kind of the best players in the world play here. So it's definitely a learning curve. To start your professional career, but I think we are going into this year kind of taking those learning tools that we had and just kind of preparing them in spring training to go out there and be comfortable and just really being able to just go play good baseball. I think that's talking to the coaches, just being able to learn and continue my growth as a player. And like I said, doing whatever I can to help this team win is kind of my main goal this year.
Is it different feeling heading into spring knowing that you're not competing for a roster spot and like, hey, this shortstop's my spot, no one's going to be taking it, and I can kind of relax in that type of that respect?
Yeah, I don't try to relax too much.
Okay.
I always go out there, I try to compete. Whoever's taking ground balls with me at shortstop, I always try to compete, trying to go out there and just kind of keep doing my thing. It's I don't like being too comfortable. I like playing with a little edge to me and being able to go out there and still kind of compete, against guys on a certain field. Your teammates. You're rooting for them all 24/7, but still, it's just being able to that competitive nature. I think that's what makes good players, that they're very competitive. Then once the season comes around, like you're competitive against the other team. So I think everything is just huge competitive side. I think that's what the best players on our team. They're super competitive in everything they do, whether they're out here playing baseball or whatever they're doing. They're always competitive. So I think that's kind of the main thing that I've learned that I want to do every day on a baseball field, is just compete.
Who's a leader in the clubhouse that you look up to and listen to their voice?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys. Seth Brown, who's been playing here for a while, and then Shea Langoliers. Those guys that those are the position player side. Obviously, the pitchers have some music sides too, but we're not spending too much time with them during spring training just because they're doing their stuff and then we have our stuff. But I think the veteran guys in there have a huge role. Those like young guys like me, have multiple young guys coming up that are just. We listen to those guys. They've been there, done it. They've been playing for a long time now for a reason. So listening to them in the clubhouse, just being able to, get what they have to say. Even talk to them about hitting, defense, whatever it is. Like they always are, trying to help you as a player. So I think those guys have definitely, made an impact on me for the short amount of time that I've been up there, and I'm sure they will for, the rest of, the time we'll play together. So.
Katse says the clubhouse is really very tight just because of you guys all came up together. Like, does that make a difference when it comes to playing in the major leagues?
Yeah, I think that the best clubhouses, find ways to win.
Straight up.
That's kind of been my thing, even in college, high school. Whoever has the best clubhouse is like they go out there, they play as a family rather than a team, which is something that you can't really take away from a team. I think that's how most people find ways to win games, is when they're in that tough spot, like who's going to be able to get a bunt down, who's going to be able to move a guy over for their team. I think that it starts in the clubhouse, being able to build that bond, that relationship as a team, and just being able to go out there, like I said, and you're playing as a family, not as a team. So I think that's something we've definitely prioritized for sure as a team.
When you look at Sacramento, what's exciting about playing there at Sutter Health Park?
Yeah, I think that obviously we've sold out the tickets. I think that's something that's going to be super cool for us. Obviously we have people there that want to support us during the time we have there. So I think for us, it's just being able to go out there and play baseball, and then if the community's behind us, it makes it even better. So I think that for us, it's just going out there, like I said, just go play baseball, and then with the community behind us, it should be pretty fun.